The morning began like any other for Rafiq. He arrived at the hospital a little early, hoping to squeeze in a quiet moment before the rush began. His son Sammy had clung to him at the school gate, worried because the rent was late again. Rafiq had smiled and said that things would work out. He always said that, even when he was not sure it was true. Inside the hospital, the halls were already humming. Rafiq worked as an attendant, the kind of job where most people passed him without ever seeing him. He did not mind the work. He liked helping patients and he liked the sense of purpose it gave him. He had never expected praise, only the chance to keep his boy fed and safe. That morning, as he cleaned the corridor outside the director's office, he noticed an older woman struggling with a visitor badge machine. Her hands were trembling slightly. She mumbled in frustration as the card slid out blank each time. Rafiq left his cart and stepped over with a gentle smile. "Let me help you," he said softly. The woman looked up, startled. Her eyes were tired but warm. "I am sorry. I just cannot get this thing to work." He guided her hands away and fixed the jammed card inside the machine. It took a moment. When the printer finally hissed and produced the proper badge, she exhaled with relief. "Thank you," she said, looking at him a little too long, as if she were studying his face for something familiar. He offered to escort her to her destination. She accepted gratefully and walked beside him down the corridor. She asked his name. She asked about his job. She even asked, in a cautious tone, if he had a family. He told her about Sammy and how he was raising him on his own. She listened with an attentiveness that felt unusual for a stranger. They reached the ward. She thanked him again and placed a hand on his arm for a brief moment. "You have a kind heart," she said. "Never lose it." He returned to his cart, feeling oddly lighter. Yet the moment he turned the corner, he found the hospital director standing there with a sour look on his face. Inside. Now. Rafiq stepped into the office, unsure what he had done wrong. The director did not ask him to sit. "I am terminating your employment effective immediately." The word struck like a punch to the chest. Rafiq froze. "Sir, I do not understand. I warned the staff repeatedly. No lingering with patients or visitors. No distractions from your duties. You were seen leaving your cart unattended and walking off with some woman. I was only helping her. She could not use the machine. I do not care. Collect your things. Security will escort you out." There was no appeal. No explanation that mattered. Rafiq walked out of the office in a fog. His breathing tightened as he imagined Sammy waiting for him, trusting him, believing he could keep their small world together. Now he had nothing. Security walked him to the exit. As he stepped outside, the sky suddenly trembled with a deep echoing roar. People looked up. Nurses stopped talking. A guard pointed at the sky with a startled cry. A military helicopter was descending toward the rooftop landing pad. Its blades churned the air and sent leaves tumbling along the driveway. The hospital rarely received such visitors. Within seconds, an urgent ripple spread across the courtyard. Rafiq watched the helicopter settle on the roof while everyone around him stared in surprise. A moment later his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number displayed only 2 words. "Please wait." He hesitated but stayed where he was, standing near the entrance with his bag pressed to his chest. The guards whispered among themselves. The helicopter engines wound down. A staircase clanged against the metal roof. Then footsteps approached from inside the building. The same older woman he had helped earlier now appeared at the doorway, flanked by 2 uniformed officers. She walked swiftly straight toward him. The director followed behind her, his face pale and confused. The officers carried a distinct air of authority that made the entire security team step back. The woman stopped in front of Rafiq and spoke in a calm but firm voice. "I apologize for the way you were treated. I did not expect this visit to cause such trouble for you." Rafiq blinked, unsure how to respond. "You came back for me?" "I had to." She smiled gently. "I am Rear Admiral Mariam Sadiq. I oversee medical logistics for the Navy. I came this morning to review the facilities for a new Veterans Health Initiative. When you helped me, I was reminded that kindness still exists in places where people often only hurry past one another. Her voice softened. When I learned a moment ago that you had been fired for helping me, I decided to intervene. The director opened his mouth to speak, but she raised a hand and silenced him. The gesture was polite yet unmistakable. You are reinstated, she said. But that is not all. She stepped aside and one of the officers handed her a folder. She extended it toward Rafiq. We have an opening in our medical support unit. It pays better and offers housing assistance. You have the qualities we value most. Quiet strength. Patience. Integrity. If you are willing, we would like you to join us. For a moment, Rafiq could not speak. The weight of the morning, the fear, the humiliation, all melted into a warm tide moving through his chest. He thought of Sammy, of their cramped room, of the nights spent wondering how he would ever climb out of the hole life kept digging beneath his feet. His voice trembled. I do not know what to say. Just say yes, she replied with a gentle smile. He nodded. Relief swept through him so completely that he felt lightheaded. The director looked away, unable to meet his eyes. Admiral Merriam placed a hand on his shoulder. You helped a stranger without expecting anything in return. The world needs more people like you. The officers guided him toward the entrance so they could complete the paperwork inside. The courtyard watched in stunned silence. The man who had been let out in shame was now being ushered back in with honor. Rafiq glanced once at the sky. The helicopter gleamed atop the roof, its presence a reminder that life can turn in a single unexpected moment. He walked forward with a steady stride, feeling the first true hope he had felt in years.